Welcome on Figuring Out, sir. Thank you for doing this. And my objective of this whole podcast is going to be that I want to know your side of story. There are so many things that we have heard. There are so many things which are probably right or wrong. I don't know what's going on. And I think apart from me, there are millions of Indians who want to know the same thing. You're highly talked about. I also feel that there are so many things which people have just heard and started building their own narrative about you. So I wanted to, out of inquisitiveness, curiosity, and B, out of a responsibility, I wanted to take this forward. So thank you so much for doing this, and thank you for giving us an opportunity. And the best thing which I really liked about this is when you came here and you said, I'm ready to answer everything which you want to talk about. I don't think many people give that opportunity. So thank you for doing this. But the first question is, why are you doing this after 9 years? There are thousands of people who must have reached out to you over the years. Why all of a sudden the need after 9 years that, okay, I'll say yes. And yes to us, why?
Very good question. Nice place to start. For the last 9 years, I have been the subject of a vicious, relentless trial by media in India, who, as you have rightly pointed out, have created so many narratives, negative narratives about me, that I have become a lightning rod of public anger, being abused, called names. And that was very unfortunate, both professionally and personally. So rather than try and take on this huge Indian media machine, I just prefer to keep quiet. Now, times have changed. And I can't help but recalling that when President Trump was inaugurated, in the first press briefing by the White House press secretary, she said that a few seats were now going to be reserved for the very first time for people who represented new media or social media. I didn't even know that a podcast existed, let alone understanding what a podcast really meant, until you told me and explained it to me in a manner that I got quite excited about, because here is my opportunity to not only answer your questions, but to say things that I truly feel would never, ever have been truthfully reported by the legacy media, particularly in India. That's why I'm here.
Why do you think nobody cared about hearing you then?
In India, it's strange, but public opinion is very quickly formed and influenced by the media. More importantly, by sensationalism. I still remember the anchor of one media channel in 2016 shouting and screaming on the television, saying, Vijay Mallya, I want to see you in jail clothes. I want to see you eat jail food, with an image of me in jail attire. What for? I always wondered what for. Subsequently, chor, paisa loot ke bhag gaya. Kya paisa? Kya loot? Nobody bothered to step back and think. But it was very easy to fling false accusations day after day and get away with it. One of the reasons I agreed to sit with you today is also because it is only very recently that finally the government of India, Ministry of Finance, has published a report, their annual report, in which they have acknowledged 14,100 crores recovered from me. Of course, this was following the finance minister's statement in Parliament. And the legacy media can't argue with that anymore. They can't put any spin on it anymore. The Debt Recovery Tribunal gave a judgment debt of 4,999 crores borrowed by Kingfisher Airlines, not by Vijay Mallya. Borrowed by Kingfisher Airlines, of which Vijay Mallya was one of the guarantors. So what was the DRT judgment debt? 4,999 crores plus 1,203 crores unapplied interest. Okay, which means notional interest that the banks had not even booked. Forget that. The total of the unapplied interest and the principal was 203 crores. Okay? And I was the guarantor. The government has recovered 14,100 crores from me. Right? Now, if I had done chori, if I had duped the banks, where does this all add up? Till very recently, there was absolutely no official figure of recovery. Right? So everybody, the legacy media in particular, wrote whatever they wanted. Right? And I was in no position to contradict. Today, after the government of India has acknowledged the recovery of 14,100 crores, I think it's my turn to ask them what they have to say about it.